Circus Flora next on CityCorner. Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson, and welcome to CityCorner. Well, Circus Flora's 2022 production is up and running under the big top, and it's going to be running now through July 3rd. So what is it? What is it like? What is it like being under the big top? We're going to get into all those details today. I'm joined by the executive director of Circus Flora, Karen Shoulders. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I know this is a busy week, so first, thank you for coming in for this.
Oh, you bet.
And here we are. So we've got the quest for the innkeeper's cask. It's running through July 3rd. Mm-hmm. Tell me what it's all about. What can people expect this season?
Yeah, so we have a very interesting storyline. So one of the things that sets Circus Flora apart is that it's a theatrical circus. So in addition to all the amazing acts that we have, we really leaned into a truly St. Louis story. So there are underground caves historically all throughout St. Louis. So we really leaned into that story, built our narrative around it. So we brought that into our story. Our set looks like a really cool cave. Part of our cast is the St. Louis super sleuths that are solving kind of a wacky mystery. And that's what our story is about this year.
I always wonder, because, wait, was it last year's or 1 year where it was set in Schnucks? Like,
yes.
who is coming, who is writing this?
Yeah, so we have an amazing artistic team. So our theater director, Cecil McKinnon, has been with Circus Flora since day one. Mm-hmm. And our artistic director, Jack Marsh, and a handful of other people involved with it, our set designers, costume designers, kind of all come together to create this entirely unique world that's brand new every year.
Right,
yeah.
And so are they sitting around brainstorming, or is it already, are there ideas like already listed for years in advance? Next season, we're going to do this.
Sure. Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of it's a fun thing since we are a St. Louis-based organization, and we really try to create something unique to St. Louis for St. Louis. So we come up with all kinds of wacky ideas and they really run with them.
Yes. Yeah. No, well, I want to get into this year. I've been following you on social media and love Circus Flora. So I want to kind of cut to some photos. So we've got this artwork, right? Which I always love the artwork that you have. So here we are for the innkeepers, the quest for the innkeepers cask. And so let's kind of get into it. The host, who is Ambrose Martos. We've got his photo coming up.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So Ambrose is a clown and actor from New York City, and he's with us for the first time at Circus Flora this year. So he is one of the St. Louis super sleuths on the case in this year's show.
All right, and so he's kind of throughout, like he's obviously throughout the host of the circus. And then I saw the Flying Cortez are back.
Of course, yes. We have been thrilled to have them for as many years as they've joined us. They are definitely a mainstay part of the Circus Flora family, so they will be back again this year. Multi-generations of the Flying Wallenda family are with us. So you'll see everything from Tino Wallenda to probably a toddler Wallenda on set this year.
And so we've had them in studio before.
Yes.
Some years it's been some years back. Really amazing family. So they're going to be back this year. And then so I saw this too, and we've got a photo. Brit Lauer. Who is Brit Lauer?
Yeah, so this is really exciting. So Brit Lauer is with us this year. She is again a main central character throughout our storyline this year, and a lot of people know her from Apple TV. She was on, or is on, the hit show Severance. Okay. But we're thrilled to say that her true passion is circus. So this is her first circus event that she's done. So she's with us for the month. Yeah, she's performing, she plays music, and she'll be doing a lot of really cool stuff with us.
Oh, that is fascinating. Yeah. That's really, really cool. So does she have any connection to St. Louis, or just coming for Circus Flora? Is she?
Yeah, she's here for Circus Flora. She did grow up in the Midwest. And,
she did?
Yes. So she has some, sawdust in her shoes. A little bit of a circus background, but this is really her first, foray in the big top. So,
oh, interesting.
Yeah, she's going the whole way. She's living on the lot. She's got her trailer, the whole nine.
That is really, really neat. That's really neat. So I know Trio Black Diamond. That's next too. So tell me a bit about this trio.
Yeah. So as you probably know, Circus Flora brings the best acts from all across the world. So we are very, very excited to have them debut in St. Louis for you guys. They are from Ethiopia. They are a trio that does a number of different acts. They do an acro balancing act and they do foot juggling. They're absolutely amazing. We can't wait to show everybody what they can do.
Wow. So how does that, on the artistic side, how does that happen? Because yes, over the years, I know that you've had artists come from all over. I mean, really all over when I think back over the years. But how does that work? Is there it's not so much of like artist management. Is there a whole other side to this that we just don't know, or do people within the circus arts community internationally sort of do you talk to their agent? How does this all actually work?
Yeah, so that's really it's a wonderful years long process with our artistic team. So they're forever scouting everything from local talent to people that are just graduating from circus colleges across the world to people across the world. So our artistic director Jack does a tremendous job of finding things that we've never had, or new people, and in contemporary circus and traditional types of acts and things like that. So yeah.
Right. So it's also too this kind of balancing act, knowing what, no pun intended. Okay, so no pun intended by using the word act, but no, this balancing act of knowing what the audience here really loves. Like you mentioned, the Flying Cortez, and just the same sort of people coming back year after year, but also bringing in new artists. That's kind of have to balance that out, I imagine.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. We have people that have come to Circus Flora for every single season production since day one. So this is 36 productions for them, and they're now bringing their kids, their grandkids, sometimes great-grandkids, to these shows. So they've grown up with when, with the Flying Cortez, or some of these people that have come back, or the St. Louis Arches, the new, class of those professional, pre-professional kids. So, there's some of those things that people are dying to see year after year. But then again, to see something brand new that they've never seen in the tent before is really fun. To kind of balance those things together.
Yeah, to balance those things. No, that's really neat. And then we've got one that I think when you mentioned the Flying Cortez.
Yes, and of course, and they're related to the Flying Cortez as well. There's some family mixed in there too. So yes, we are excited to have them back. They've been with us a couple of times. A trapeze act. They're absolutely amazing performers. So we'll have them back again this year.
So we've kind of covered all the tightrope, trapeze act, balancing act, and then the daring horseman. So this is Crunchy Ash, did you say?
Yes, Caleb and crew. So he has, oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful, big horses, and he does amazing acrobatics on them. And he's working, Leia Innocenti is also with his troupe this year. So she has ponies. So we have these amazing, giant, galloping, thunderous horses going around the ring, and him doing these acrobatics on them, and also a group of ponies that are as cute as can be and do an amazing, beautiful act as well.
Oh, that's great. And you already mentioned the St. Louis Arches, and I know we've covered here at STL TV Circus Harmony sometimes over the years. But every time I see, just amazing.
Yes.
These kids are amazing.
Oh.
So talk about the St. Louis Arches are going to be performing this year.
For sure. And so Circus Harmony, our neighbors down the road, they have the St. Louis Arches, which is their pre-professional training youth troupe, and they will be back with us this year. They're performing with us this year. They are absolutely astounding. These kids have more energy and flips and the things that they're able to do. So they're definitely a St. Louis favorite that people come back year after year to see with us.
What do you think it is? Circus Flora, this is your 36th season, and it is something that is very unique to St. Louis. I think a lot of that is there's the artistic side, then there's the people like you who are involved in it, who really are connected to the community in a lot of ways. The sort of, that conduit of sort of sharing the energy and the spirit of the circus. What do you think it makes it so special and unique to St. Louis?
Yeah, there are very, very few big top nonprofit circuses that even exist in this country anymore. And we are a resident circus. We haven't traveled in a little while, and we're right here, part of this community year round. We, particularly this year with the story that really lends to the actual history of what's going on in St. Louis with these caves and things like that. That's real St. Louis lore that we've managed to work into our story this year. So, it's St. Louis crew, St. Louis people that are making this family-friendly entertainment for the St. Louis community. So it's an important thing. It's a family-friendly event that brings tens of thousands of people into the Arts District every summer.
Yeah, and under the big top, I was saying to you that before we got on set, this whole behind-the-scenes aspect, which I think is almost equally as fascinating as when you're under the big top and you see what's going on in the ring. But if people haven't gone, when you go down to Grand Center and you see the big top, there's a whole kind of component camped out where the artists are. Talk about that kind of behind the scenes, what people aren't necessarily seeing under the big top, and what that's like in terms of the culture and community and that vibe that's going on.
Yeah, it definitely has a family vibe. It's amazing because, most of the year it's just a square block, in the middle of Grand Center, right? There's this tent and you smell, but when we're there, it becomes an international block. It becomes its own little village. It becomes its own little city. And there are maybe 10 to 12 caravans with families living there. You know, there's babies, there's parents, there's an entire village of people that are, you know, cooking and working and being together and living right there in the city and, you know, working together and rehearsing and putting on this tremendous show. And it's a wonderful family atmosphere.
I think what's always struck me over the years when I see that, and you know, this may sound sort of silly, but it really actually feels very historic to me.
Yes.
Like, it really feels, actually, what I always appreciated about seeing that is that it feels like this is how maybe circuses were when you go back centuries, you know, when you go back to sort of that festival performance in kind of European festivals. I don't know, I wasn't alive 100 years ago, but just going back, is that kind of, that's still sort of there, that sort of
definitely, yeah, and we definitely do that. I mean, we really do feel that, and it really does harken to a one-ring European circus, and it is very traditional in that respect. I mean, you smell the sawdust, you can smell the cotton candy, you can hear the music, and the people living and working together, all together for the show really has that feeling that I think it is palpable to people that come and visit it, you know, and the way we work and live kind of reflects, you know, the way the St. Louis community does. And I think maybe that's why people enjoy that. It's a lo-fi way of enjoying that art.
Right, and it's very unique. It's really just unique to this experience. We're going to be going to break really soon, but I did want to bring up Little Tops, and then we're going to kind of get into some of your specialty nights. But Little Tops is one that I think is a great idea. Tell us about what that is.
Yeah, so our full performance is about 2 hours, including a 15-minute intermission, but every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. we have a Little Top performance. So those are for our teeny tiny fans who might not be able to sit through the full performance. So that's just 1 hour. So we do offer that every week for our little people.
Yeah, no, and I think that's because, it's hard to sit still, especially when you're seeing something so engaging. But yeah, we've got a few other things when we come back from break that we want to get into. I saw Pride Night, Baseball Night, all those details. But for now, we're going to put some information up for you on the screen. This is how you can go check out Circus Flora's 2022 production. You can head to MetroTix to buy tickets. If you want to learn more about the show, kind of what Karen was talking about, read sort of the storyline, you can go to CircusFlora.org or call the number on your screen, but go to either of those sites, one for tickets, one for more information, and this is running through July 3rd under the Big Top in Grand Center Arts District. Also social media, we've got a graphic for that. You've got to check out these amazing photos. We've shown a lot of them so far on the show, but we've got a graphic for that. You can follow Circus Flora on Instagram, Twitter, and that graphic's not coming up, but there we go. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, there it is at Circus Flora. Pretty easy to remember, but really great footage. But we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have more. We're also going to talk about what Circus Flora does when it's not under the Big Top, and there are programs that are going year-round. So we're going to have more of that with Executive Director Karen Shoulders when we return. Stay with us.
Botanical Garden is loved by green thumbs and non-gardening types alike because you can play. You can relax. And there's always something new to experience, no matter the time of day or the season. And learn about conservation and one-of-a-kind plants. So come and experience St. Louis.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it here. So what are you waiting for? Just go to the site.
Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson, and welcome back to City Corner. Today we're talking with Circus Flora about their 2022 production, which marks the 36th season, so congratulations on that. I'm joined by Karen Shoulders, Executive Director of Circus Flora. So here we are, the run's going. We talked about just in the last segment, Little Tops, which is your times, your shows for the little ones. You've also got a baseball night coming up. So tell me what's happening then.
Oh, we sure do. Yes, that's on the Wednesday the 15th. It's baseball night. It's our 7 p.m. performance. And the first 100 people that arrive get a giveaway, a baseball themed giveaway. And also our friends at the St. Louis Cardinals have donated tickets. So there's a chance to win tickets to a Cardinals game at that game as well.
Oh, that's right. So if you're the first 100 people just showing up to get in, if you already have your ticket, or like, oh, got it.
Correct,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Yeah, added the nice little the baseball there. That's good.
What goes better than summer and baseball and circus? So that should be fun.
Right. Except for, having someone out doing the first pitch too, the flip side of that. That sounds good. And then you've got Pride Night coming up on June 29th.
Yeah, so this is our first annual Pride Night that we've ever done. So we are going to have some music and some additional things on the midway pre-show to celebrate Pride Night. And then everybody who purchases a ticket for that Wednesday, June 29th, 7 p.m. performance is welcome to stay. Post-show, we'll have some food, and we'll also have a drag show in the Big Top following.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'll be very fun after the circus is done. Got it.
Right.
Oh, that's great. That's really fun. And that's the same weekend for Pride Fest too.
Exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah.
And then you're doing something I read with New York. Life insurance were free child IDs before. You mentioned this pre-show festivities, pre-show activities. What's that all about?
Yeah, so the gates open 1 hour before every performance, and we always have fantastic concessions. We have Grill Master Tony doing barbecue. We have Celia playing music that's super fun and family friendly, and try to have a lot of activities on the lot. We have pony rides this year, and our friends at New York Life are going to be out there providing digital IDs for kids too. So it'll be really nice of them to offer that service too.
So it's like coming for really, when you think about coming to the circus, it's like there's a lot going on before then the circus act or the production, and then afterwards. That's really neat. So I alluded to this year-round programming, and it's something that I think when people hear Circus Flora, they instantly think the Big Top, they instantly think the summer, and they're just like, I saw that production. But you're doing work year-round, and I did want to, before we get into Clowns on Call, want to ask you about Share the Circus, and what's that about, and how that was started.
Yeah, so Share the Circus has been around for about 13 years. It's a program, we very strongly believe that the magic and joy of circus should be accessible to everybody, and that anybody who wants to come see our fantastic show should have that opportunity to do so. So we created this program, and we're lucky it's been funded by a lot of our community partners, corporations, and foundations that have donated to offset the cost of us being able to donate tickets we work with over 30 different nonprofit organizations throughout the St. Louis and Metro East that work with underserved communities, people like Welcome Neighbor STL, Youth in Need, and other nonprofit organizations. So we're able to give tickets to our show, up to 2,500, 3,000 tickets every season to these organizations, and then they're able to distribute them to kids and families so that they're able to come out and see our show.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if somebody even hearing this is working with a nonprofit with children, they can reach out to you to be a part, potentially, or apply to be a part of that?
Yes, definitely. The application is on our website. There's a tab that says Beyond the Big Top that shows some of the things we do outside of our production, and it would be there.
Oh, great. Yeah. And then I had mentioned, so Clowns on Call. I think, tell us a bit about this program.
Yeah. So our Clowns on Call program has been around, again, probably about 12, 13 years as well. It's something we do year round. So we are, like I said, a nonprofit organization that has been working in the St. Louis community year round. And we have 3 clown doctors, Dr. Toomey, Dr. Celia, and our newest clown doctor, Dr. What's His Name, just joined the cast this year.
Dr. What's His Name?
They're amazing. So they work with our partners at SSM Health, Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. They make visits 2 to 3 times a week, every week, all year round. And they're all parts of the hospital, whether it's, infusion centers, or they go room to room. They work in the atrium at times. So, they're making visits. They're juggling, they're singing songs, they're, making jokes, doing improv and working with kids and families and really supporting the more and more difficult work of the healthcare providers to help these kids. So
how did that start? I mean, how did that start? I mean, I think I was reading on your with your site, it say our clown doctors focus on the physical and mental health of patients, family members, and hospital staff to help improve recovery outcomes and add some levity hospital stays. So I mean, is there like research into this? How did this actually start?
Yeah, definitely. So there were a couple of clown programs throughout the country that were doing this in New York and Houston and some other cities, but there's nothing like this happening in St. Louis. So one of our performers had started this some years ago and really looked at best practices and things like that, and started this program here in the St. Louis area for us. And it's been tremendous because it offers respite for the families. It helps the kids, have emotional release through laughter. There's so many really good things that it does. It helps, if the child's getting a blood draw or a shot, it helps distract them while the doctor is doing their job. They're just such a good partner. To the hospital, and now they're helping to form the best practices for other programs that are starting in the country. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, no, it is, and for artists, I mean, how do you when you discuss the program with them, are they applying different? I mean, I wouldn't say different techniques or artists, but are they're kind of curating what they're giving out to the children in the hospital differently than they would on stage? I mean, do they talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. So there's an entirely different set of protocols that they have to follow, and they do. So and there's still circus clowning. They have their skills that they would use in and out of a circus ring, but really working with the hospital to make sure that they're doing it in a therapeutic way, or what's needed there. So it's a special, very special vein of that kind of clowning. So
no, that's really nice, and it's
special people.
Yeah, no, it's very nice, and it's nice to know that this is. I think, like we were saying, so many people think about Circus Flora as just your season under the big top, but when you have these programs going year round. Another thing that nonprofits, especially in the arts, always rely on, which is volunteers. So are there volunteer opportunities, and what does that look like?
There are about 350 of them during the season alone. Yes, and again, that's on our website as well. You can click on Get Involved. We are very, very glad that we have such an amazing crew of volunteers. We have a front of house manager, Harold, who has been, again, with Circus Flora since almost, I think this is his 30th year.
As a volunteer?
He is a paid seasonal staff person. However, what he does is curates this amazing group of people, because all of our ushers, ticket scanners, seat cleaners are all volunteers. So we are very thrilled that they come back year after year and help put on our shows. So there's many opportunities to get involved for sure.
So volunteering for that.
Yeah.
And then I noticed something too, which I thought was is interesting, that you do a membership actually. So how does that work?
Yeah. So again, being a nonprofit, and we definitely rely on the support of our community. So one of the greatest perks to that, though, is becoming a member. There's different donation levels. Believe me, every bit counts and makes a big difference to the Share the Circus kids, or the Clowns on Call program really could use that support. But when you're a member, you can get a ticket discount, you get a discount on merchandise, and some of the membership levels, some of the bigger membership levels too, you get those backstage tours, you get to, maybe meet the ponies and, kind of get to see a little bit more behind the scenes. So there's a level for everybody, and it definitely helps keep the magic of circus going year round, and supports the production and everything else that we do.
No, I mean, especially here we are after the pandemic. I mean, with nonprofits in the arts, all nonprofits really, but just trying to find as many ways to keep the public engaged and also keep that support. I mean, how has it been since the pandemic hit? I mean, when you're in this line of work where it's performing arts, you're dealing with the public, and then the pandemic hits. And what were you Circus Flora was doing some virtual stuff during that time? Talk about what you were doing maybe during the pandemic.
Yes, well, the pandemic was difficult for everybody, particularly performing arts organizations. And we did go dark for a year. We had no live performances. And, like you said, for being an intimate one ring kind of European style circus, that's kind of our lifeblood, is to be able to perform in front of people and make those connections. So it was really difficult. And a lot of our artists they were home. They were grounded. They were not performing elsewhere. So it was a pretty tough year for everybody. We did do a handful of virtual things. And it was kind of neat if you enjoy that behind the scenes glimpse of seeing what people are doing and practicing and learning new skills from their home. Our Clowns on Call went virtual. They were making visits with children via iPads instead of getting to go room to room. But it was, it was difficult. We were glad to be able to come back. Last year we had an October season instead of our regular season, but a big top is interesting. It's not a brick and mortar building, so we had some flexibility there. We were able to remove the sidewalls and keep it open air, which is what we're doing this June. So that gives us a little bit more flexibility, and I think makes people feel a little bit safer about being out and about, in the semi-post-pandemic situation.
Yeah, I thought last year, because of the open air setup at the Big Top. And so how are you feeling? Here we are. I mean, the show is 2022 is here. Does it feel like a little bit of that injection of hope, and here we are, and people are coming, and families, because you've got a lot geared up for the next several weeks.
Yes. Oh, it's incredibly exciting. I mean, it's wonderful to be back. It's wonderful to be back in summer and blue skies and warm weather, and the concessions going and that kind of thing. So it's wonderful to be back in the Big Top, and to see all the messages on social media and elsewhere that we're glad you're back and my family's back and you're part of our summer plans, and it's really wonderful.
Oh, well, it's great to have you here. I mean, I always have to ask people in the arts when it's sort of, especially when you've been doing this for a long time, and it's like, what do you love about it? Because I know sometimes people see it and it seems like it's fun work, but it's a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours. It's a lot of work that goes into this. What do you sort of love about it? What keeps you going?
Oh, everything. It's great. And I enjoy doing every aspect of this job, from scanning tickets to, helping do the ring speeches to serving drinks in the hospitality tent. I mean, it's an amazing experience from when you walk through the gate till you leave the gate after the show. And every act is amazing. Everyone. Yes, it's a great show for everybody this year.
Oh, well, no, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I think that's the one thing when you think about with Circus Flora and performing arts in general, but is that moment it all leads up to, where that experience of watching the audience see the art happening before them, that live experience, and what that does. And it's something really unique when you're the one behind the scenes kind of working for a year to make it happen. But congratulations to you and your entire team, everyone who's not here, who's in rehearsals right now. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And we've got the information there for you on the screen so you can check it out. It's running through July 3rd. It's Circus Flora presents The Quest for the Innkeeper's Cask, and has a nice St. Louis underground cave theme. I always tease people saying you never know what's under your house living in St. Louis. There might be a cave. You can also follow Circus Flora on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's the handle, or head to their website. Great website with a lot of information on not just the history of Circus Flora, but the current production and how you can get tickets. So that's it. And thank you, Karen.
Thank you
again.
So much.
And thank you at home for watching, and keep it right here on STL TV. Experience St. Louis.